This is the 3-minute preparation or presentation about the double moonshot. Thomas Friedman says that we need a moonshot to push ahead, to get something that we all need. Like the moonshot of the 1960s, we need to prepare for the global economy. Yeah, I was right there. Somewhere between these two people, there was a speech in February 2005 by Bill Gates. He talked about rigor, relevance, and relationships. He wanted to have people thinking about what the problem was. There are small schools that deliver rigor, relevance, and relationships. He claimed that it was easy to lose focus about this because many people think about the things that we really want for our children. We want them to have the same benefits that we have. However, it's a different world that we're growing up with. Things are being outsourced. And so, here's the problem. I like to read, I got good grades, but math bored me. But when I was in the factory, fractions made sense. So Gates is saying, why don't we do something similar to this? We will bring out people who are able to find things when they're outside of a classroom. And this is what we will have to need. This is what we need to do. We have to change our structure of our schools. Now, what do people in Europe want? They are trying to fight the invasion of outsourcing. Call centers make it cheaper, better, and more efficient. And so look at the 5 parts of the double moonshot. There's globalization. It gives something to all of us. Bill Gates says, listen to Dennis Littke. We're preparing for globalization, and labor-intensive industries are going to be leaving the United States, and we're going to have 4 or 5 career changes. This means that we have to revitalize our schools to help students know that what they're learning in high school is not going to be relevant 5 or 10 years later. You have to be ready for lifelong learning. The second part of the double moonshot is innovation. We need to reduce dependence on oil, so we need a moonshot effort. Just as in the 1960s, we went to the moon. We have to, instead of just sit on the sidelines and pay rocket scientists to do their magic, each one of us has a part to play in reinventing education and in making sacrifices to be able to use alternatives to gasoline and diesel. Each of us has something here. Each one of us has something to play. Education is everyone's business. This comes from Dennis Littke. Why is education everyone's business? If you're not inventing the next gadget that the world will buy, then you can be inspiring the next kid who will invent that gadget. There are lots of people who could walk into a classroom. You're absolutely right. However, if you don't walk into the classroom, you're missing an opportunity to participate. So the question is, what should students learn? We've got lots and lots and lots of activities. Let's first remember that there's a right brain and a left brain. If you look carefully at this right here, it says follow, a sequence with 4 E's, and details spelled incorrectly. The left brain is working at this point because we want to fill in and make things look better. However, schools spend so much time there, they forget about the big picture, figuring out that it's possible to learn things out of sequence. Make a safe space for the right brain is what Dan Pink says. If you don't say anything, it will give time. No, you're going to be looking at a logo. Don't tell anybody. Don't say, what you're supposed to look at. Just say, look at this. What do you see? Okay. Somewhere here, you're going to see something. What do you see? Something here, I don't know, something there. If I direct how you look at this, this will mean that I remove the moment from the other person. Now, here we go. I could say, don't look at the letters. What do you see? Okay, this famous logo was in 60 Minutes. The professor said, do you see the air? They said what to look for. But the question is, what do you see? Now here, what do you see? Look inside the logo. You want to create a space where kids can watch adults solve problems, and you know that it's okay to be confused. Now, this is interesting. You can switch a lot of letters. You never grow old until you've lost all your marvels. Get it? Dreams come a size too big so we can grow into them. Sometimes you've got to take the leap and build your wings on the way down. The designer gives the world what it doesn't know is missing. If you're not living on the edge, then you're taking up too much space. Now, masquerading as a normal person day after day is exhausting. No. I've heard that there are wonder years, the times in 6th, 7th, and 8th grades when kids ask a lot of questions, really good questions, and they start wondering. If you can get a kid at that point and show them that there are alternative ways of learning, you will create a learner for the rest of your life. If we don't reach the kids at that time, by the time they're in high school, there's a lot of damage to their creativity and imagination. Their initiative has been removed. So, let's imagine that Paul Revere is passing right now. Will you ride or will you stay in bed? When you hear that moonlit cry, will you ride with Paul Revere? So the double moonshot is asking you, can we reinvent our schools? Can we reduce our need for oil? Can we build international bridges? Can you visit middle schools and inspire kids through innovation? whywaitfordetroit.com, bigpicture.org is an excellent place to go. Thank you very much for your time, and I encourage you to go to visualandactive.com.